What's up, guys? It is episode 2 of the Plan J Journey to PT series, and this is supposed to be the episode about my outpatient experience, but I either deleted the videos of me vlogging my experience like the day of, or I didn't do it. So I'm gonna fill you in on the first half of like what I wore, how it was, and in the second half I'm gonna give you guys some like a clip of me vlogging my experience trying to get inpatient opportunities before I actually started the inpatient. You'll see. Yeah, so I started shadowing at Dreyer PT in December. I think it was the first week of December. I did 2 weeks, 40 hours. So the way I spaced it was I did 4 hours a day, Monday through Friday. And I chose to do it that way so that I could spend more time with them. Even though it was only 2 weeks, it was still more than 1 week and knocking 40 hours out in 1 week, if that makes sense. So, what did I wear? Let me get some examples for you guys from my handy dandy closet. Here's some shirts. Okay, so business casual. Business casual. I wore like cute little button-up blouses. Okay. Sometimes I wore sweaters. So there's this cute little sweater, this button-up sweater, and then I would wear pants. So like khaki, black, navy. Not necessarily suit pants, but you know how like you can go to Old Navy and get like some black pants, some navy pants, like that type of pants, if that makes sense. So yeah, very simple. You could wear a button up, you could wear a sweater and some slack pants, and then I just wore kind of like loafers, very comfortable shoes. You can wear tennis shoes also. I did wear tennis shoes, my like white sneakers sometimes, because the physical therapists are wearing sneakers. So business casual, that's basically like the best way to go about it. If you get there in business casual and you feel overdressed, or they tell you, hey, you could just wear athletic wear or X, Y, and Z, go ahead and wear that, okay? But yeah, very simple. I rotated through these like 4 shirts, okay? So you don't over stress yourself. When it comes to what to wear, okay? How was it? Extremely boring. So boring. Now this is a chain facility. They do a lot of general outpatient. So you got people coming in after doing knee replacements, people with lower back pain. There was a few people that I was able to see that had like interesting injuries. So there was somebody who had an ACL injury. He was probably the youngest patient I saw there. He was 20 and he was in the latter end of his ACL rehab. And then there was another guy who had torn his rotator cuff. So he was in like the sling and everything. So he was doing different types of exercises, but it's very mundane. Just being honest, at least the place that I was, a lot of the therapists have maybe like 2 patients at once. So they have one person doing their warm-ups on like a bike, or one person doing their warm-ups on the treadmill, or maybe both of them doing their warm-up on the bike or the treadmill. And then they have one person on one table, another person on another table, or maybe one person's doing exercises in a certain area while the other person is on the table getting manual therapy. Something I was able to do to like make it less boring is I found ways to help. Okay. I would wipe the tables down when they were finished. And they saw that I was willing to help, so they started to like ask me to do things for them. And don't be afraid to ask like if you can get involved. That some of them will let you just stand there the whole time. Some of them might engage with you and ask you if you have any questions, but it's really what you make out of it. Okay. So they had like the little heat packs. There's like this metal thing with, they look like ankle weights. You know, the weights that like wrap around your ankle, that kind of like, I don't know. They have those, and they're in this like metal thing that's heated, and it's like hot water, and you pull it out, you put it on a towel, fold the towel over, you bring it to them, and they put it on like the patient's shoulder or something like that. And they have like pads that you put around them before you put the heat on it, stuff like that. They do ice packs, stuff like that. Laundry, if the laundry needed to go be put in the back or in the basket, I would put the laundry in the basket. Maybe I would take it to the back so it can be put in the washing machine, stuff like that, just to give yourself something to do. Like me, I want to be doing something. I don't mind standing and watching, asking questions, but to make it a little bit more engaging, I found myself looking for stuff to do. Like, I don't want to just be here and in the way. I want to be helpful, at the very least. So that was what I did to make it better. It was a little awkward for me because I'm more reserved by nature. So I would try to make small conversation with them here and there. If they have a good like chemistry between the therapists, then you'll probably have a good time because they like to talk and crack jokes, and they might, involve you in the conversation. I feel like they were a very nice group of people. Some of them were like easier to like have conversation with than others. Just depending on the personality, basically. But overall, it was a very cool experience. Quick 2 weeks. So yeah, that was what my experience was like. I would get there at 8 a.m. and I would leave at 12. That was the hours that I chose. If you want to see younger people, something they told me was that their younger population typically comes in the afternoon because they don't like to get up in the morning. So that could be something that might work for you, especially if you're in school. It might work for your schedule to go in the afternoons instead of in the mornings. But I wanted to get it out the way, so I did it in the morning. That is a quick rundown of how my experience was. I'm trying to think of any questions you might have. They did not quiz me on anything. Well, one of them did. Sometimes they will, like if they learn about you and they know, oh, you have your degree already. Oh, you took this class already. Okay, so the PTA, he was doing something, and he was like, okay, what muscle am I working? And I was like, the trapezius, and he was like, okay, upper, middle, or lower. And I was like, ooh, like upper. And so he was like teaching me and like telling me what specifically he was trying to do with the patient. I found that the PTAs, ironically, were like way more willing to teach me than the physical therapists. Like they were more willing to be like hands-on and like, hey, do you want to do this, or do you know why I'm doing this, and X, Y. Like they were so willing to like help me. But they're not gonna get there. You're not gonna get there and they're gonna quiz you, because a lot of them don't even know if you have a degree yet. So they don't have like a preconceived notion of what you should know. You're there because you want to see if you even want to be a physical therapist. So they don't expect you to know anything. So take that pressure off of yourself. Okay? Very unlikely that they're going to like quiz you to see if you deserve to be observing there. Like, that's not their job. Okay? So what else? If you have any specific questions regarding that experience or what you can expect in a general outpatient setting, comment them below. Because I went to 2 different outpatient settings. This was more of a general pop, but the last rotation that I did for observing was at a sports facility. So that was fun, but that was way different. But if you have any questions about general, then leave them down below. Maybe I forgot to cover it. Maybe you're curious about something. But now, second half of this video, it's a video where I sat down and I was giving you guys tips on how to get inpatient experience. This is not me talking about my inpatient experience. This is me talking about how I got there. And I think I talked a little bit about this in episode 1, but I think I go a little bit more in depth in this last half. So that's what you're about to see. And I even include a clip of me calling and networking to get that opportunity that I had. So, but yeah. I just wanted to quickly make a quick advice video on how to find observing opportunities, because it is tough out here, okay? Ever since COVID, things have been a little bit different when it comes to shadowing. Things are starting to get back to normal, but I'm realizing that a lot of things when it comes to both getting a job, volunteering, shadowing, sometimes is about who you know. Because the only reason why I'm getting inpatient experience right now is because of who I know. And the only reason why I know that person is because of the first tip I'll give you. When you're looking for observation opportunities, it feels safer to just email like different places and be like, hey, can I? But I did not get like results until I went in person. So my first tip is to go in person to I would say start off at an outpatient facility and go in like business casual. You don't have to look super fancy. Go in like a business casual outfit and say hello, introduce yourself. I printed out my resume. They didn't ask for it, but I printed it out just in case. And I said, hi, my name is Jasmine and I'm looking for observation hours. Is there a physical therapist here that I can shadow? They got the clinic director. He came, he was like, yeah, sure, you can come. And he was like, when do you want to come? And I was like, I can come the first week of December. So like, that's how it was. It was super laid back. I felt like I did more of the conversation steering, because he was just kind of looking at me like, hi. And I was like, hi, like I need X, Y, and Z. He was like, okay. So he gave me his card so I could email him. From there, I emailed him a week before so we could set up like what day I was gonna come in, because there was some paperwork I needed to fill out. So on my first day, I came in, filled out the paperwork, and then I started shadowing. And this is the part where I say sometimes it's about who you know. Now, first tip was to go in person, because go in person so that you can get a direct conversation right then and there. And then also if it's a therapy chain, so for example, I went to Dreyer PT. If it's like a therapy chain, they're more likely going to be open to you guys shadowing, just because it is a common thing for people to go and shadow. But so I started my first day or so, first week, and they had me like bounce around to different people. One of the PTAs who was there, everybody's just asking, they're getting to know you. They're asking like if I'm going to PT school or PTA school, if I've done all my hours or if I still need hours. So that was the conversation I was having with one of the PTs, and the PTA was like, oh, you still need inpatient hours? I have a buddy who works in inpatient. Let me give you his information, and I'm going to text him, let him know that I gave you his information so that you can get your hours in. Okay, so I've been shadowing at an outpatient clinic. Sorry, it's cricket. I don't feel like getting a tripod. And one of the physical therapists at the clinic I'm shadowing at heard that I was still needing inpatient hours, so he gave me the number of one of his friends to call. So I'm just gonna call and see if there's any inpatient opportunities. And I'm super nervous because I don't know how to say his last name, and I don't want to just call him by his first name, but I don't want to be like rude and mispronounce his last name. Hello? Hi, is this Mr. Hi, I got your information from over at Dreyer PT. I'm currently shadowing over there, and my name is Jasmine, by the way, sorry. He let me know that I could reach out to you and ask about any inpatient opportunities. Yes, sir. I'm looking for like maybe 40 hours of observation hours in both inpatient and outpatient. Okay, I do. Okay, okay. I was like, look at God. Like, that was so nice of him. So I was super nervous because he gave me his phone number and his name. I wasn't sure how to pronounce his last name, but I called him. He answered. He gave me his email, told me what to do. I followed the instructions he gave me. He connected me with people at the hospital that he works with who could get me set up to do my inpatient shadowing. And it took me, here's the part, it took me about a month of following up to finally get started. So I will say it's easy to get scared and be like, oh, I don't want to bother them, but they're busy. Okay, what I realized is that they're just spread so many different ways that sometimes they forget about you because they have other priorities. And I thought it was maybe because they're just working with so many people, students, trying to get them in at the same time. No. Okay, wait for what I'm about to tell you. Okay, the person who coordinated me shadowing with the physical therapist that I'm shadowing right now for inpatient care, she is also an occupational therapist. So she's on top of like all the other stuff she's doing, she is seeing her own patients, she's charting notes for patients and stuff like that. So it's just a lot. So that's why I say follow up, because they're busy. But when I said I thought they were busy with a bunch of students, no, they're not. Because today I asked, like, how often do you guys get students in here observing? And he was like, maybe 1 to 3 times out of the year. And it's mainly, they mainly get students from like school programs, so PT students who are doing clinical rotations, but they don't get students as often as I expected, which is why I was like, huh. So that's how I figured, okay, maybe the people I was talking to, they're busy with other things. So yeah, I'm the only student right now who is like shadowing a physical therapist that I've seen. So those are my tips. Go in person, and then I got lucky that one of the people was kind enough to like be like, hey, oh, you need such and such, let me help you. But when you go in person, if you get your outpatient opportunity, then while you're shadowing, maybe give it a few days, they're like, hey, by the way, I still need inpatient hours. Do you have any colleagues anywhere who happen to work in inpatient care? And is it okay if I get their information so I can get connected with somebody at their hospital who can help me? I think it's about who you know, leveraging the relationships that you develop. Yeah, and if they like you, they're going to they're gonna you know what I mean, like, oh yeah, here. And if they don't know anyone, it's okay, just keep asking around. That's my advice. Just quickly recap: go in person to get outpatient experience. Go to a chain. You might have more luck going to like a chain company that does therapy. And then while you're there, maybe like a few days in,
go, like, ask around, like, hey, I still need inpatient hours. Do you know anyone who works in inpatient that I can talk to, or someone who can get me connected? Like, ask around, because they understand, they know, they did it too. I think that's everything that I wanted to say. Yeah, I think that's everything that I wanted to say. So if you have any questions, let me know.
That's it for episode 2, you guys. The next episode you'll see, I will be talking about my inpatient experience. I actually did vlog. Not like me being at the hospital, but like different, like I vlogged my experience after like day 1 or like day 2, and like the things that I saw. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please continue to leave questions if you have them. Go check out my website, jasminebharris.com/journey to PT. The link is in the description. I have an ebook for you that is available as well. It's free, so you can learn a little bit about me and why I'm doing what I do, what Plan J is all about. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next episode.